Okay, so dancers are apparently the most introspective people in the world. Do you think that's what I've been saying on a Thursday morning, 1:30 a.m.? But I just had a great conversation with a great dancer at my gym, and I'm feeling validated. I guess like it's always I have Discord. I've met interesting people in real life. I'm not saying that I haven't. It's just always nicer when I meet interesting people in places that I don't expect them to, because the feeling it generates is different. If I meet you in a philosophy, if I meet interesting people in the philosophy Discord, it just reaffirmed the same thing that I always felt, which is that obviously there's interesting people. Like it's like I meet Christians in a church, Zooey Mama, you know. What if I meet a full on atheist in a church? Whoa. You know, it's like green beside red makes red look more red than red on its own. You can make something more of its thing just by having color beside it, which is one of the topics I was talking about the dancer with, which is also the topic of this video. And it's that how other people bring out more of ourselves than we give credit for. I don't want to say that ourselves by ourselves, but I was having this argument with my friend ages ago back in uni where I was telling him I don't believe that you alone is your true self. I've never believed that actually. I think it's one of yourselves. I think it can be the truest. I think maybe one of the most potent or one of the most. I don't even know if I believe that. I just believe it's another version of yourself. I think it's the most consistent relationship you'll ever have is the most relationship with yourself. I'll tell you that much because you're the only thing that's guaranteed. But I think there's a reason in this world why my siblings are my favorite people in the world, and how sometimes if they would die, I feel like a part of me dies because I think they hold a part of me, and I think the way that they view me is I think their perception of me affects my perception of myself. And there's a reason why my parents are not in that category because they I don't believe they see me in, at all actually. But anyway, that's very relevant. Which is I don't know. I don't need to add a judgment to it. It's what it is. Whether that belief is true or not, it could just because I don't see my parents, and it's just a projection of I. But you know, they've never indicated that they see me at all. But my siblings, for some reason, have this thing. Even though we're completely different people in a bunch of ways, I feel like they understand. Like I have no problem with them seeing, but I like any part of me. And I think that's interesting. And I was telling her, I think that we mourn people dying not because, well, partially because we lost them. I'd like to make this a little bolder. I think we mourn people dying not at all because we lost them, but because we lost ourselves or the versions of ourselves that they held. And that the you that exists on your own, there's this movie that says there's two people are talking to each other, and they says it's not about you, it's not about me, it's about I think life is about this in the middle, about our relationship with both the tangible and intangible, making the intangible physical and making the physical intangible, and our relationship with those things. Um, There's why people I don't think people understand Torpedoes, because if that sentence didn't make sense to you or hit you in some didn't titillate your titties, this is why you don't understand Jordan Peterson. You need to get a little bit metaphysical, a little bit poetic. You need to be a little bit poetic, or else you're gonna be lost. You are. Get a little gay in the original way, not in the homosexual way, but also not too. Yeah, you gotta. Wait, what the fuck was my point? ADHD is a disease. I thought every video is just an advertisement for ADHD medication. A little bit, but also, we make it cute. What was I talking about? I'm gonna pause this so I can remember. Okay, so it's about like opening yourselves up. Like, I never prejudge this dancer specifically, but I think I just like have ideas of people in my head, and always and I've made several. She's been written about my diary, my video diaries. I think I probably posted a TikTok about her, and like, cause she would always just say interesting things, like, but I just didn't realize how interesting she was until today. Um, which is always just a lovely thing to find out, like that you have that like someone you see yourself in just exists, especially when you feel kind of like, oh, isolated and alone. I don't feel isolated and alone because again, Discord exists. I just feel like sometimes I would just like to walk into the real world and just like meet someone that I'm like, oh God, yes. And this is why I'm gonna start finding more writers. I need more writer friends. I need more writer friends. And some interjection because I think writers are a nice like distinction